a man hunting in a valley sees a group of some strangers. He removes the hat from his head. He throws a half-finished cigarette on the ground and, picking up the gun held in his hand, begins to vent all his anger on those people. These people are actually migrants who have come across the border, and as the sound of bullets suddenly echoes, a stampede breaks out among them. They run here and there to save their lives, but they are trapped in an open and desolate field where there is no place to hide, and for a sharpshooting hunter, they become like moving targets. Just then, a man grabs the hand of his wife running behind him and pulls her to run even faster. But no matter how fast they run, they cannot run faster than bullets. In just a few moments, one by one, all the people collapse in the barren area of that foreign land. The name of this hunter is Anderson, and he had brutally put these migrants from Mexico to death even before his half-cigarette was finished. Meanwhile, this hunter's family has lived on the U.S.-Mexico border for generations, and he harbors deep hatred for such intruders. According to him, these people steal jobs and increase the unemployment of local people. A few days ago, he had also complained about these migrants to the police. But the police dismissed the matter, making excuses about the border being very long and a shortage of personnel. This negligence of the officials was eating him up from the inside, and amidst that anger, when Anderson, out on a hunt that day, saw these people, he turned the poison filled inside him into bullets and showered them upon those innocent people. Even after killing everyone, there wasn't even a trace of remorse on his face because he had participated in the war in Afghanistan, and taking someone's life was nothing new for him. Moreover, his heart was already filled with hatred for these migrants. Therefore, he did not feel the slightest regret for his bloody act. Instead, he begins to feel a strange thrill at the bloody work done today. He realizes that this is another group of people who have come across the border. Therefore, Anderson, soaked in alcohol, feels his blood grow even hotter. He calls out to his dog, signaling it to jump into the vehicle, and pressing the accelerator, speeds toward the direction where some people are crossing the border. Actually, these people were part of the same group that the hunter had just killed. They had lagged behind because their pace was slow, and they had seen the murder of their companions with their own eyes. Therefore, they are now running with all their might to save their lives on the rugged mountain paths. They knew this path was dangerous, but they had never imagined the danger would be so ruthless. In a short while, Anderson reaches near them with his pickup, but the path ahead is so narrow and stony that the vehicle cannot go further. He immediately takes his dog and begins the pursuit on foot. The speed of that hunting dog is as fast as lightning, and it is only a matter of time before it reaches those people. Mike, running at the very front, suddenly looks back, and the color drains from his face. He shouts to the other people to run fast because the hunting dog has come very close. But how can a human's two legs win against a four-legged animal? Just then, while running, a man's bag falls on the ground, and risking his life, he turns back and runs to pick it up. This one moment of delay puts him at the very back, and he becomes the hunting dog's first target. Seeing all this, a girl wants to turn back to help her companion, but Mike stops her by grabbing her firmly because he knows that returning in such a situation, that man is unable to save himself from the hunting dog's attack, and in a few moments, his breath stops. Standing at a distance, Anderson sees this of the fleeing people. Now Mike and his companions begin climbing toward the top of the hill using all their strength. The scene they had just witnessed had filled their hearts with terror. Luckily, this time the circumstances are slightly in favor of these people. Before the dog arrives, those people manage to climb a tall tree growing at the edge of a rock and stop the dog below for a while. But the danger had not yet passed. That hunting dog was also no less clever. Since the dog could not climb straight up, it begins looking for a path from the other side. On the other hand, Anderson was proving to be even more dangerous than his dog. To keep an eye on the prey, he takes the support of a small tree and climbs onto a nearby massive rock, which was the highest point in the entire area. From there, he can see clearly in all directions and also sees his dog running rapidly. Meanwhile, running ahead, Mike and his companions cross a slope filled with stones. But suddenly, a deep gorge appears before them. Jumping down was risky, and there was fear of getting injured. But the growling of the dog coming from behind and the threat of the rifle aimed from a distance, the target has vanished from his sight. Now the remaining three people completely panicked. run without thinking of direction, and enter a narrow valley. In a short while, Anderson also reaches there with his pickup. But before going inside, he carefully takes out a map, and they reach the height before the hunting dog arrives. Then the dog leaps from below, but cannot reach the top, and is left just barking like crazy. Just then, Anderson also reaches there, hearing the dog's sound, and climbs the hill himself to go after them. Now Mike and his two companions move forward slowly and carefully on an extremely narrow rocky ledge. As soon as the curly-haired boy walking at the very back looks back and sees Anderson rapidly approaching, he panics and loses his balance. In the next moment, his foot slips and he falls down from the hill. Seeing this, Mike's heart trembles, and he immediately moves forward, grabs the girl, and hides in a pit-like section formed in the middle of the hill so that their lives can be saved. Over there, Anderson packs his rifle and returns by the same path because he is certain that the curly-haired boy who fell down is not dead yet. Hidden above, Mike and the girl keep trembling with fear, hearing the sound of the gunshot, and sit holding their breath. Luckily, Anderson's eyes do not fall on them, and he leaves from there taking his hunting dog along. Seeing the corpse of his companion lying below, pain, anger, and helplessness all well up together in Mike's heart. Their group of about 20 people had now shrunk to just 2 lives. Now Mike, taking the girl along, wanders aimlessly in the desolate desert area. Slowly, night closes in, and the day's running has broken both of them physically and mentally. Amidst the silence, the girl says in a breaking voice that she herself did not want to come on this journey, but her city had been completely taken over by the drug mafia. Her parents feared that the ruthless gang could harm her at any time. Therefore, they gathered money and sent her to America with this group so that she could go there and start a new life. But fate brought her to the brink of death. Mike also tells his story that he used to live in America before. He had a beautiful wife and a small son. But one day while passing on the road, the police stopped him and made a false accusation that he broke their car light. On that pretext, he was taken into custody and later, upon release, was forcibly expelled from the country. It was only in the desire to meet his family again that he chose this illegal path. But now the situation had become such that both could only pray to somehow get out of this horrific place alive. The next morning, as the girl goes down to relieve herself, her eyes suddenly fall on a pickup parked in the distance. Looking closely, she recognizes that it is Anderson's vehicle parked below the hill. Panicked, she immediately runs back and tells Mike everything. Hearing this, a dangerous but brave plan begins to take shape in both their minds. Both decide that there is only one way to escape from here: steal Anderson's vehicle and run away. But before that, they will have to lure Anderson and his hunting dog away from there. Below, Anderson is preparing to leave after packing his belongings when his dog, hearing a slight sound, runs barking in the direction of the noise. Anderson also becomes alert, picks up his rifle, and runs after it. Over there, Mike and the girl realize their plan has worked, and they immediately come out of the hiding spot and run toward the vehicle. Anderson reaches the hill behind the dog and is stunned to see the sight in front, because there, the girl's toy was placed among a nest of snakes, and the rattling sound was coming from there. He realizes he has been deceived. Just then, the dog sniffs something again and runs downward. Anderson scans from above and, seeing Mike and the girl running in the distance, senses their intention. Without delay, he raises the rifle and takes aim. On the other side, the dog is rapidly getting closer, and in panic, Mike breaks the vehicle's antenna and tries to open the lock with it. And in the last second, the door opens and both quickly get inside. The dog keeps leaping and barking outside the window. Mike takes a nail cutter out of his pocket and inserts it into the key slot. Is not over yet. Just then, a bullet hits the girl from behind, and in this chaos, their vehicle overturns. Therefore, both try to get out as quickly as possible. Now, because of this incident, their happiness turns back into terror. A few minutes later, Anderson reaches there with his dog, but the vehicle is found empty. Silence is spread all around, and he realizes the hunt is not over yet. At this time, Mike is moving forward slowly, supporting the injured girl, but he realizes that walking like this is useless. If the blood is not stopped immediately, the girl won't even be able to walk for long and will faint from blood loss. He makes her sit near a large cactus and opens the first aid box picked up from the recently stolen vehicle. Inside, along with some common medicines and bandages, a signal gun is also kept. Mike quickly ties a bandage on the girl's wound, tries to stop the blood, and then takes the signal gun out of the box. He tells the girl to stay hidden right here and not move at all, because he must draw the hunt top of the hill, loads a cartridge into the signal gun, and fires toward the sky without hesitation. Hearing the sound of a loud explosion, Anderson's attention shifts, and he immediately changes direction and runs after Mike with the dog. The pursuit is getting faster. Therefore, Mike enters a thicket of dense cacti visible ahead. He thinks the sharp thorns will stop the dog's speed, but he doesn't know that the dog's small and agile body can easily pass even through these thorns. That dog is just about to reach Mike. Just then, Mike loads a cartridge into the gun and, somehow taking aim, fires toward that dog, and that cartridge gets stuck in the dog's mouth. Due to this, the dog dies right there, charred. By the time Anderson reaches there, his loyal hunting dog has been badly scorched by the fire. Its body is unrecognizable. Crazed with anger and pain, Anderson shoots his own dog to free it from its agony. Now there is only revenge in his eyes. He puts all the blame for his dog's death on Mike and vows that now he will put them both to death by making them suffer. Over there, Mike is just thinking of returning to the girl when he sees a car passing on a distant road. A spark of hope returns to his eyes. He runs toward the road with all his might and screams for help while waving his hands. But the vehicle passes by rapidly without stopping. Unfortunately, Mike stumbles and falls hard on the ground. The hope that had just awakened shatters in the blink of an eye, and he becomes disappointed to the core. Then he realizes that death is just a few steps away from him. Anderson's rifle has already aimed at his back. Mike's spirit breaks. He cannot understand why Anderson is so bent on finishing them, but he certainly knows that stopping means dying. He hasn't even seen his wife and son again yet. He cannot lose like this. Seeing Anderson advancing toward him, he grinds his teeth and runs away again. Anderson also runs behind. While engaging in this deadly pursuit, both reach the top of the hill. Circling around massive rocks, Mike sees a chance and climbs to the highest part. Meanwhile, after a few rounds, Anderson also understands his move and he too climbs up. But just then, Mike slides down from the other side. In this game of cat and mouse, the human instinct for survival is clearly visible in the hour of crisis. Anderson jumps down from the top and thinks Mike has escaped. He begins to peer slowly over the edge of the gorge, and this proves to be his biggest mistake. Get injured in the fall. But Anderson's condition is worse because one of his legs is badly broken. Groaning with pain, both somehow try to get up and simultaneously scramble toward the rifle lying on the ground. Finally, the gun comes into Mike's hands. And for the first time, courage is seen in Mike's eyes instead of fear. Ultimately, despite having the gun in his hand, Mike does not pull the trigger. For a few moments, he looks at Anderson lying on the ground with a broken leg. Anger, pain, and exhaustion are all visible on his face at once. Then Mike fires 1 or 2 bullets into the ground, but instead of burning himself in the fire of revenge, he lowers the weapon. He does not kill him. He just turns and slowly walks away from there. He knows that the ruthless sun of the scorching desert and loneliness will be the biggest punishment for that old hunter. At the end of the story, Mike returns to the girl again. He lifts her onto his shoulders and begins to move toward the distant horizon with stumbling steps. Amidst the desolate desert, their shadows appear very small, but the determination to live inside them is no less than a mountain. In this way, the lives of both are saved, and they see some shining lights right in front of them. And this is where the story ends.